Since 1992, the Green Bay Packers quarterback 1 position has been manned by only 2 people. Brett Favre from 1992 to 2007 and Aaron Rodgers from 2008 till present day. Over that time span, the Packers took home 2 titles and made the playoffs 22 times in 31 seasons. As for their quarterbacks, Rodgers and Favre combined for an astounding 7 MVPs throughout their illustrious careers. We all knew that the next man to take the reins of the Packers quarterback 1 position has some massive shoes to fill, and it seems like that time has finally come. In 2020, the Packers shockingly traded up for quarterback Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers was 36 years old, but the team had just come off a 13-3 season where they made it to the NFC Championship game. A season in which Rodgers had 26 touchdowns to 4 interceptions and still threw for over 4,000 yards. Packers GM Brian Gutekunst explained that Love was the best player on their board by a wide margin, but they did still trade up for him, which seems a bit contradictory. Anyway, Jordan Love was now the future successor, but the consensus was that he needed at least a year or 2 on the bench before becoming Green Bay's quarterback 1. Questions arose of whether Aaron Rodgers had fallen off entering his late 30s, but he answered that by winning back-to-back MVP awards in 2020 and 2021. Under Mike LaFleur, the Packers had won at least 13 regular season games from 2019 to 2021. However, 2022 was a different year for the Packers. Instead of their usual regular season dominance, it was mostly frustration and realization that they were not good enough to compete for a Super Bowl anymore. With Rodgers arguably having his worst season of his career in 2022 and uncertainty about retirement, the Packers have essentially told us that they're moving on. In steps Jordan Love. Love, of course, has been in Green Bay since 2020, but has barely seen the field in his first 3 seasons. He was forced to start a game in 2021 as Aaron Rodgers missed a game with COVID, and in 2022 he entered a game late versus the Eagles on Sunday Night Football, completing 6 of his 9 passes. We really have not seen enough to know what Love is going to be in the NFL, but the Packers do believe he's ready. And with this being year 4 of his 4-year rookie deal, they need to find out ASAP. Assuming they have conviction, they will pick up his 5th-year option, but that's yet to be seen. When Love was drafted, the assumption was that Rodgers would start to decline, and the transition would happen a lot sooner. But 3 years later, the time has come. Whether Rodgers ends up with the Jets, which seems like the most likely outcome, or if he is shockingly dealt elsewhere, what we do know is that he won't be a Packer in 2023. So where does Green Bay go from here? I mean, honestly, it's hard to tell. I can see a world where they win the NFC North, or things completely break down and they win 6 games. They have a wide variance in terms of wins and losses. Looking at their roster, there are some good young receivers, and that's highlighted by Christian Watson and even Romeo Doubs. Doubs could be a very solid wide receiver 2 in this league. He just needs to fix the drops and be more consistent. Watson definitely needs more polish as a route runner and needs to be healthy, but he has wide receiver 1 potential. You still have the running back duo of Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, plus an above average offensive line. On defense, you have a duo of young studs in Jair Alexander and Rashawn Gary, who is coming off a torn ACL last year. Also, the development of Devontae Wyatt and Quay Walker in their sophomore seasons will be crucial for this defense. And of course, it comes down to Jordan Love. From when he first entered the NFL versus now, you can tell he's made a lot of strides in his development, but once again, the sample size is minuscule. I personally believe in Love more than the average person, no pun intended. He has great zip on his passes, he navigates the pocket well, he steps into his throws, he can make any throw on any part of the field, and he can make throws on the run. Of course, for any quarterback, a good system and continuity can go a long way. He's had the same head coach since he was drafted, the same GM since he was drafted, and should not have the same level of learning that a rookie quarterback would need. Sure, it might not be perfect right away, but the learning curve, if any, won't be as alarming as a rookie. 2023 is going to tell us a lot about the Packers' future and where it's headed. For me personally, I think they'll be fine. I believe Jordan Jordan Love will show us pretty early that he is a franchise quarterback. I believe in their defense enough to keep them in games, and I do expect a jump in production from Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs. And also, the NFC North is still pretty open. You have a couple of teams trending upwards like the Lions and the Bears, but you also have the Vikings who are due for some regression coming off that 13-win season. I think Green Bay will flirt with the playoffs for most of the year, and if they make it, they can win a playoff game in the right matchup. I don't think Super Bowl contention is in the cards for 2023, but if Love ends up being that guy, the Packers will open up yet another Super Bowl window, which really hasn't been closed since Brett Favre was there. They'll need to keep drafting well, and due to missing the playoffs last season, they'll be picking 15th, which is higher than usual. It'll be weird not seeing Aaron Rodgers as a Packer, but the good news is that his successor is in place, and he might actually be very good, who knows. The last time the Packers missed the playoffs in consecutive seasons was 2017 and 2018, and before that, it was 2005 and 2006. This is a franchise that's used to dominance and very good play in the regular season especially. And I'm sure some Packers fans are still disappointed about how last year's finale ended versus the Lions. Could they bounce back and make the playoffs this year? I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. They did lose Allen Lazard and Jaron Reed and Robert Tonyan, but once again, there's still enough talent on this team already to survive for next year. So let me know in the comments, do you guys think the Packers will compete for the playoffs in 2023, or will they have a down year and enter a rebuild? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll talk to you guys next time.